It's not something engine services based in the UK. Big thank you to all you guys who subscribe to this channel. As I promised you, once we get some different faults in, and now we've got a much larger workshop and we can get 4 vehicles in, and we're going to be able to share a lot more with you. Now, this particular vehicle is coming in because it is absolutely plummeting loads of black smoke out of the exhaust, and it's not a faulty EGR that's at fault, it's actually faulty injectors. So that's going to be my next video, and we're taking it apart, and I'll share everything that we find and what you need to do to rectify the fault on that particular car. But I want to talk to you about how not to remove an engine. Yes, how not to remove an engine. Come and have a look at this. A customer sent me this car because the mechanic working on it in question, it's come down from London. He couldn't get this bottom end out. And the reason for that was you missed the backwards bolt above the starter, so you've got bolts all around the gearbox, but you've got one hidden which goes in the opposite direction, and there were your issue. So that engine's now coming out. But the reason why this vehicle's here is it's seized on the crank, and one of the most important things that you can do, because it's an automatic, I'll have to take the torque converter with it. And when I undo the big ends and the mains, that's when the crank will turn. Now, somebody who's been working on this vehicle has tried to get that engine to turn, because ideally, you should be leaving the torque converter with the gearbox, because it can get quite messy. Now, if you have a look closely on this particular engine, it's been stripped, turbo's been took off it, catalytic converter's there. Right, what's happened here is somebody, for whatever reason, has tried to get this engine to turn, and they've been smashing the pistons with a hammer, as you can see there. And if you have a look at the edge of the block there, it's all damaged there, and it's damaged on number 3 cylinder there. So that block's now scrap. Now another thing I want to show you at the front of this engine is when dismantling an engine, this is not the way to take away the fuel pump. If you have a look there, 6mm Allen key bolts. You should have actually taken the 6mm Allen key bolts out and leave that torque bolt in there. Come and have a look around back, so I'll show you. This car is in such a mess. It's going to cost a fortune, an absolute fortune, to put this right. Come and have a look. It's come with 2 turbos. This is how it's come, completely in bits in the back. Now, I don't mind taking on jobs like this, because it's a walk in the park for us. But if you're going to strip an engine, you know, you don't need to go to this extent. To give you an idea, obviously it's coming with 2 faulty turbos. Can't use that one, and I don't know what's happened to that one. As you can see, it's quite a mess. Exhaust manifold stud, and the thread is damaged, and I've got the tools to repair that thread, so that's not a problem. But that stud is one pig to get out of there, honestly. It's hardened steel, and when it's like that, it's an absolute joke. Right, so this is like I say, this is how it's come. Now, what I can tell you immediately by looking at this stuff is that this is an 07 car, and that's classed as a Euro 4. Well, actually, that's Euro 3 rocker cover, and that's Euro 3 top timing chain cover. On the Euro 4, the plastic. So it's evident to me that somebody's fit an earlier engine at some point. So this particular vehicle is now on its third engine. Well, we all know about Nissan engines, don't we? So I don't know what the mileage is because the battery's dead and there's no power to the actual to the dashboard at this moment in time. Right, what I can tell you is mistake number one here: removing the starter motor. Look, broken. The 8mm nut seizes and then it just breaks off. So that starter motor is now scrapped. Another thing, don't need to go to such extent stripping the EGR off, throttle body off, you know, you can leave that stuff on. Another big mistake that I'm seeing here, just be looking, is aircon pump. Why on earth have they disconnected the aircon pump? Because at the end of the day, them bolts just unbolt and you can just leave it on the side of the chassis. So now he's going to have to pay for regassing of his aircon pump. And then another thing here is fuel pump. When you're taking a fuel pump apart, it's imperative. I mean, he's lucky on this occasion, it's got a Woodruff key, so I'll be able to reassemble that for us. But that's not the way to take a fuel pump apart. You need to take the 4.6mm Allen key bolts out, and then there's 2 Torx bolts that sit like that there, and then the pump will come out complete. And it's one of them things, really. Another thing, aircon radiator, that should have been left in the car and not disturbed, because like I said, you'll have to pay extra for regassing, providing that it's not damaged. So I hope there's quite a few top tips for you in this video. I'm going to be sharing a whole load of videos and going through the fault codes in the next couple of weeks, so I can teach you everything that I know about fault codes, because they're not straightforward at all, trust me. Other than that, can I share anything else with you? No, like I said, we've got a black smoking video to share with you and some fault codes coming up in the next week or so. Right, a big thank you once again for subscribing to this channel. I will teach you everything that you need to know about your Nissan Navara or Nissan Pathfinder, and we're looking forward to sharing some more videos. And like us page on Facebook and subscribe to our channel.